Hey everybody, it's almost Christmas time. I don't really celebrate Christmas like I used to. It was great when the kids were young, and of course when I was young. But over the past several years, I've not really celebrated. I work on Christmas. I'll be working this year. I've offered to work on Christmas Eve and Christmas, which is generally my Thursday and Friday, my 2 days off. But I'm going to work both of those days. I'm going to work straight through for 10 days, starting this Saturday. And I'm going to be tired at the end of those 10 days. But then I'm going to take 4 days straight. My 4 days all at one time off in a row. So it'll pay off. Do you remember what your most memorable Christmas present was? Mine, of course, I loved everything I always got for Christmas, but one of my most favorite Christmas gifts, I was in the 4th grade. I was in Miss Hayes' class. I remember that because I wrote it in a book. Mom and Dad had bought me a poetry book by James Whitcomb Riley. And Mom asked me at the time, what do you want with such a grown-up book? But I loved that poem book. I loved poetry as a child, and I still do. But I just loved poetry. I read that book from cover to cover, time and time again. And a lot of his poems I memorized. And so, like I said, I got that book when I was in the 4th grade. And I carried that book with me. I had it with me. I was married the first time when I was 19. And my first husband that I was married to, he took that book and some of my other belongings and some of the belongings we had together. But as far as my belongings, he took that book that I'd had since the 4th grade and sold it without letting me know. I had to find out when it went missing that he had actually sold it. He sold that book and he sold the shoes we got that I wore when we got married. He sold my wedding shoes. He was an ass, and oh well. But anyway, so anyway, it seemed like every year at Christmas time, the subject of that book would come up, while my kids was little. Because I just loved that book that I got for Christmas that year. And I always talked about that book. And so, back, I'm not sure what year it was, whether it was 99 or 2000. It was one of those years that my son found the book, and here it is. It's all ragged and such, but he looked everywhere for this book. This is just like the book that I had. He looked everywhere for the book and couldn't find it, and he ended up finding this one, as ragged as it is, in an antique shop in downtown Greensboro. He said he had to go to the upstairs and to the attic part of the antique store, and they had just a bunch of boxes with books, and he looked through it and he found it, and you can see it's all tattered, but that's okay. And inside the book it's got, where the book was given to somebody in February of 1944. But if you're looking here, this has got James Whitcomb Riley's, this is poem book. It's got his obituaries from the newspaper, and he died in 1916. So these are very old, and they were taped in here. And here is a letter, and it fell out. They had it taped in here, sent to somebody, and I can't make out the date on it, but it's got a 2-cent stamp. It's a 2-cent stamp, so that's quite old. And it's really fascinating. So just these alone and the obituary from 1916 is worth something. This book means a lot to me, and it means a lot to me, well, because I loved the book as a young child, but because Joe, Hotel Angel, went through so much trouble to find this book for me after his dad had sold it the way he did. But anyway, I guess this is one of my favorite gifts ever. Another favorite gift that I had was, and I don't know why, it was a lucky locket. For any of you in my age group, you probably remember what that was. It's just a necklace with a little plastic bubble on the front, and inside it is a little doll. And it was called Lucky Lockets. And I don't know, that just sticks out in my mind. And so, and now gifts today is just so, I mean, I guess we could have to change with the times. So I was going to say everything is so technology and you know, technology wise and all that, but that's a sign of the times, I guess. So, you know, kids are not exactly rushing out and asking for Digger the dog and Raggedy Ann and Andy, so. And who can blame them with what we've got these days? You know, gotta go with the flow, so to speak. And Christmas trees, I think I've put up 2 trees since I've been here in Greensboro, 2. And they was back in 90, I think 95 or 96, and another one in, I think 96, 97. I can't remember when it was. Anyway, but they were real trees. And you got to be very, very careful with real trees. I've seen the video, and if you've not seen it, you can go on YouTube. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere, about how fast a tree will burn and how fast a Christmas tree fire is no joke. I guess by the time you sit here and count to 5, that whole tree is gone and half of your ceiling's gone too. It's how fast it went up. But we had the last time that we had a tree, we had a real tree. Huge. Ross outdid himself when he went and bought that tree. It was a huge tree. And the water in that tree, it took a 2-liter bottle of water a day. It would soak up. And so, and then we had a problem with the dog too. Duke, bless his heart, we'd put the water in the tree and then we'd hear some, you know, the tree wiggle and look around, and Duke be up under the tree drinking the water from the base of the tree. So we had to spank him a couple times so he would learn he cannot go up under that tree and drink that water. Bless his heart. But anyway, that was the last tree that we had. And I think, because the tree, like I said, was so huge that when we started taking it down, we took the balls and stuff off of it. And then, you know, there were so many lights on it because the tree was so big that they were just getting all tangled up. So we just left the lights and the rope and everything else on it and just threw the whole thing away like that. But anyway, what was your most memorable gift? And I like to hear, especially from you older people such as myself, before all this modern day technology that the kids today are getting. I'd like to hear what your favorite gift was. I do know I'm the only one in my family that ever had a tricycle. And I loved that little red tricycle. I just loved that tricycle. And so, but anyway, well, tell me what some of your favorite gifts were, and if I don't get back on here anymore before the holidays, which I probably won't because, like I said, I'm working 10 days in a row. So anyway, Merry Christmas to everybody, and be safe, and see you after the new year. Bye-bye.